Hi there, this is Joanne from TrueAuthenticPower.com from Tapping.me, and I'm also the creator of the program Catapulting to Confidence. You know, I like to use stories on my Facebook page to illustrate how we're using our energy all the time, whether we know it or not. Because some people get so nervous about energy. What are you talking about? And will you take me over? And, the connotations of past things, and it just gets convoluted. So I like to use stories or posts or things about, see, this is energy in motion here, and this is what's going on. And as I was watching a reality show, and, there's this talk about this reality contestant, it's not about the contestant that I want to talk about, but the symptoms of what's happening when he's overwhelmed. So in this particular show, a lot of choices are being made for love. And one of the comments that was made by two people that were close to him was, "You're shaking." And I want to talk about that because people who are in their 20s and 30s are so busy proving themselves and getting through things, and I'll show you, and I'm badass, and F you, and, F the world, and all that kind of stuff, because you're trying to break away from patterns and holds and being told what to do and all of that. And I get that. I did that too. Here's what I think is a missing piece, though. If you are not attending to your emotions along the way, this is what tends to happen when you get into the older ages. You get tired, you get worn out, you're tired of fighting, you're tired of proving yourself, and you start running in those circles saying, what the heck have I been doing? I'm exhausted doing this. Yes, you have resilience when you're younger and when you don't have as much emotional buildup. But as you keep doing that same kind of stuff, that same kind of pushing, and by the way, if you are addressing things like being badass, there's anger attached there. I'm going to prove to you. I'm going to show you. That is not free-flowing energy. That is pushing, forcing, proving, anger-related. And I get how some of those transitions happen. Here's what I'd like to point out, though. So in this particular episode of this reality show, because it's not about the show and it's not about the context of the show, it's about the noticing of this person shaking when they're talking about emotional things. Now, why is that happening? I'll tell you why. Because they have been trying to push through, work through, just reject the rejection, pretend like it doesn't exist, but it always catches up. You cannot outrun your energy. You can push it to the side. You can try to trash compact it for a while, but the next time you get triggered into a similar feeling, a similar circumstance, it will come rearing back up. And that's why I talk so much about cleaning up your emotions sooner rather than waiting until you've got all this buildup so that the symptoms come out. Now, in this particular case, this person is shaking because they're so rejection-filled, hurt-filled, not wanting to cause pain to other people. There is so much emotion going on there, and it's real, and the body will react to what the mind is relaying, talking about, reliving, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that's a symptom, and a lot of people don't get that the body will react to what the subconscious is telling it. It's saying, that situation is not safe. That situation is hurtful. I have to fight. I have to push. I have to make it happen. That sometimes can happen for a while. But in the long run, you may be pushing or making something happen that is not even good for you, that is not in your highest and best interest. And you can't see that or even go towards a path that feels right because you're so busy in survival emotions of the pushing and the forcing and the making it happen. I get that. I did all that too. That's why I'm telling you about these kind of audios to explain what goes on behind the scenes of energy if you have not begun to do that part for yourself yet. The cleanup of emotions, the working through the hurts, the pains, and how do you go about doing that? Symptoms of all kind, or I guess I can't say a blanket statement like that, but I really do believe that's true. Symptoms of all kinds start with an emotional buildup. And if you're not meant to get over something, there's nothing in the human realm that's going to do that for you. Like if you're meant to exit this life, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. But up until that point, the things that we go through to grow emotionally, to evolve spiritually, to have a connection with a higher force that's creating your breathing, that's creating your life force. How are you sustaining life? It's not just happening. There's something going on there. So those episodes, those incidences can actually force you to think that you have to do everything on your own, or can you tune into a power and energy, because we are energy beings? Can you use those kind of energies, those kind of tools, that kind of awareness to heal the hurts, the pains, the rejections along the way, so that when something doesn't work out, it might not be you're not good enough. It might be, nope, this is the wrong person, and I'm making it so severe to block you because that is not who you want to be with. That is not where you're supposed to go. That is not the job to take. That is not the person to be with. You get the idea. So, if you're one of those people that's pushing and you're going to prove yourself, I get that. And you're not uncommon. That happens to a lot of people. For sure it does. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the healthiest for you. So what if instead of pushing and forcing and proving and showing them, what if you could clean up your emotions along the way that tick you off, that hurt you to the core, that shake and rattle your body so much that it makes you physically shake? That's backed up energy. And it can be soothed and healed and lovingly transformed, transmitted, released when you start paying attention to, okay, what's going on here? Because what happens is once you get in that loop of that stuck replay, how many times have you heard reality show people elude or even say right out loud, I keep doing this. Why does this keep happening? Because now your energy and your subconscious mind are programmed to keep you safe. And anytime you go near something that causes you that kind of pain, it will rear up and say, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. And every time you get re-triggered to a similar feeling, it doesn't even have to look the same, but a similar feeling, something that provokes you in a similar way to feel the similar rejection, you will react again because now it's locked into your energy and your subconscious. I would think one of the best things that you could do, and this is just a suggestion, take it for what it's worth. If this isn't it, find your own way. But I have seen that release the backed up energy, release the patterns, release the subconscious beliefs, release the energy that is surging through your body, whether you think you're paying attention to it or not. Your energy is working all the time. Why not get it to work for you? And it's not about programming in the universe to manifest exactly what you want, because that too will only work for a certain amount of time until you start hitting some walls. And life does bring walls. I don't think anybody's immune. There's a difference between being taken down in the storm and riding the waves of a storm. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. If you are cleaning up your energy along the way, your emotions along the way, if you are attending to those things that have hurt you, devastated you, and not for nothing, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of those things start before the age of 7. The patterns, the templates, the things that you have seen, life is hard, life isn't easy, love hurts, you're going to have to work at it. That's all passed down energy. If that's not how you want it to be, then you've got to do something to start recreating a different version. And it might be part of your life journey that some things are thrown into your path that are difficult, that are meant to block you, to say, no, don't go that way. Here, go this way over here. Go this way over here, not that way where you're trying to push and force and shove. That will work some of the time. But when it stops working, and I promise you, the more buildup of these other emotions that you get, things will give you more trouble. And life has a way of getting bigger, and with things that happen in later years, more severe. It's not like you can't always avoid those things, is what I'm trying to say. Life is going to happen. Illness things show up. Divorces happen. Illness with children happens. Worries, fears, anxieties, job loss, changing, things that rock your world. It happens. It's part of life. And if you're not diligently already starting to work on your energy, I would strongly nudge you to consider that might be a really good benefit and something that you should consider. How do I do that? Like I said, a lot of times in the 20s and 30s, people are proving themselves, pushing themselves. Fast forward 20 years and look at the energy that changes. people walk around like they're half dead, like they don't have any fulfillment in their life. Not all people. I'm not blanketing across all people, but it does sap your energy when you're dealing with survival emotions all the time of suffering and sadness. And here it is again. And oh my goodness, I can't believe what is going on here. Why does this keep happening? It's because it's looping in your energy and subconscious mind. Okay, so now I've explained what symptoms might be showing up, like someone physically shaking. The channels are being jammed. The trash compactor is full. Will you do something to clean up? Will you do something to help release this? So what can you do? All right, so my suggestion, and take it for what it's worth if it doesn't feel right to you, is a technique called EFT tapping. And the reason I suggest this technique is because not only is it proven to move physical energy and change cortisol stress hormones within minutes, there is so much more research, there is so much more proof now, and it's been around for decades. This is not new news. As I'm recording this, it's 2019. This has been around for a long time, and it has been proven to show dramatic differences from trauma, shock, rejection, hurts, pains, physical ailments, issues that are going on, and it's a simple to use technique. Now, you may not always be able to get to the core of the template that's causing your issues, and that's when you need a coach like me. But in a pinch, when you are overloaded, I know I've done this. I've gone to YouTube when I was, late at night and full of grief and sadness. I needed something in the moment, something, please help me. It didn't get to the underlying deep things for me, which isn't to say it can't happen for you if you go to something freebie on, wherever on the net, but it helped in a pinch. And when you are in devastation or overwhelm or shock or trauma or just reacting in a, I don't know where to put myself feeling mode, something that can help you in a pinch is so welcomed. It was for me. I guess I can just speak from my experience. It was welcomed relief for me until I could process bigger things that were really at the core. That was getting out of just initial, oh my gosh, I don't know where to put myself. So I would say to you, do you know about EFT tapping? Have you learned it? Do you know about it? Do you know how to use it? Have you done any sessions to clear up your problem? Have you done any work to release that energy and the subconscious beliefs? Because it's not just the energy. It is the belief system that has gotten locked into your subconscious mind that says, oh, here comes that problem again. We've been here before. Oh, I know what this feels like. Run the other way. You can try to prove yourself forever. You can try to block that energy. You can try to pretend it doesn't exist. But I would suggest to you, from what I've seen, you're not going to outrun your energy. You're going to carry it with you wherever you go, in whatever relationships you're in, wherever you end up working or being an entrepreneur or however that works out for you in your life. You will carry those subconscious beliefs and emotions everywhere you go. Moving, changing, only is short-lived unless you get to the template that keeps recreating and showing up. That's my belief. You may or may not agree, but I see a lot of people chasing their tail, proving themselves, pushing through. I'm going to show them. Yeah, that works for a while, but you get tired of doing that. A lot of people get tired of doing that. That's what the midlife crisis is about. What the heck have I been doing all this time? If you want to do some avoiding of that. Now, you're not going to avoid life circumstances. I really don't think that's possible. And that's not about not believing in manifesting. That's just, if everything is hunky-dory, why are you here? You should be up dancing with the angels, right? But you can ride the waves of a storm rather than going down into the undertow. And it would be my hope for you that you find ways to do that sooner rather than later. And if you need help doing that, I am a tapping coach. I do have resources for you that you can even work through in the privacy with my membership site. It is possible to heal those old wounds so that you don't keep reliving them, and you get to the point where the energy is so backed up you shake from the emotions. I understand that. I had that in one low situation too. So I get how that can happen. I understand it. It's probably why I can explain it now and say, oh, but there's a better way. If only I had had tapping back then, which I didn't. At any rate, You can subscribe to my channel. I do these audios to give some explanation because just tapping on this or that doesn't necessarily say what's going on underneath. It gives you kind of like a symptom short-term quick fix, but it may not get to the core of what's underneath. And I like to do these explanations and use episodes on TV or life stories or things that show up on Facebook or wherever so that I can say, see, here's an example of energy at work. Are you seeing what's happening here? Because people just don't know. You use your energy all the time, whether you know it or not. So why not use it to your benefit? To get it to work for you, to clean up the emotional backlog that I swear just locks so many people up, me included. I learned this through major trauma, and I would not necessarily want that for other people when there is a better way. You're on your own path. You're on your own journey. If this lands for you, if this resonates for you, if it makes some explanation like, oh, that's what's happening. Okay, I get it. And you want a way to heal that, resolve it, release it so that it doesn't keep building up. I think tapping is a wonderful way to do that. You can contact me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can sign up on my website for newsletters and other things that show up, events that I might talk about or new things that I'm putting out, sharing with other people that you might not see anywhere else. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some hope. Because backed up depression, backed up energy, backed up social anxiety, backed up shaking, all that has emotional templates somewhere holding in your energy and subconscious. So this is Joanne from TrueAuthenticPower.com, from tapping.me. Sign up for my YouTube channel. Sign up for my newsletter on my website, TrueAuthenticPower.com. And if you have any questions, drop me an email. I'm happy to help any way I can. And until our paths cross again next time, bye-bye for now.